Shine with Kendéll Lenice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together.
Hello, and thank you so much for tuning in to Shine with Kendéll Lenice. If this is your first time tuning in to Shine, welcome. If you always listen to Shine, thank you so much for returning. I appreciate the love and support. Again, to all my first timers, welcome to Shine with Kendéll Lenice. I upload podcasts every Wednesday evening after the live show, which is now at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then it's uploaded to all podcast home, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, as well as my YouTube channel. So the beautiful thing about podcasts is you can take them anywhere you go. You can listen at any time from anywhere. Again, Shine with Kendéll Lenice every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live. You can always go to livingtruelivingyou.com to listen live or catch the playback wherever you listen to your podcast. I hope everyone had an amazing day. You are above ground. Hopefully you appreciate that and realize that you are blessed. I'm so excited about today's show. I have an amazing guest with an amazing topic. Today, I'm shining my spotlight on pole dancing, sexuality, and empowerment. So that's where I'm shining my spotlight today. But before I get started, as always, let me give you the life note. Be right back. All right, it's time for this week's life note. All right, this week's life note is life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So I have the founder and CEO of Black Girls Pole, Dalijah Franklin. She is the founder and CEO. So that's what I'm shining my spotlight on tonight: pole dancing, sexuality, and empowerment. Pole dancing combines dance and acrobatics centered on a vertical pole. This performance art form takes place not only in a gentleman's club as erotic dance, but has also recently gained popularity as a mainstream form of fitness, practiced by many enthusiasts in the gyms and in dedicated dance studios. Pole dancers have some of the best bodies out there, y'all. It's a full body workout. It's resistance training and cardio all in one. It will help improve your flexibility and make you feel better and put you in the best shape of your life. I'll have an expert to talk more about that because, of course, I am not an expert, but hopefully after this show, I gain my knowledge as well as you all. I've tried pole dancing before. It was a studio called Expose. And let me tell you, it's not easy. It wasn't easy for me, but it was exciting. I wanted to try a different type of workout. So I did that. I tried that once, but I have a feeling after my guest comes on today, I'm going to want to try again because her body is banging. And of course, there's more to pole dancing, as she will tell you, other than being in the best shape of your life. So I am thrilled to have the founder and CEO of Black Girls Pole, Dalijah Franklin. So let me tell you a little bit about Miss Franklin. She is a dancer and performer and an obsessive life giver. She loves to inspire and help women of color dream big and reach their goals. She is a graduate of Ohio State University with a Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition and from Tri-State College Acupuncture with a Master's in Science and Acupuncture. Dalijah has been pole dancing for over 10 years and teaching pole dance all over the world. She is an instructor at the world-renowned Body and Pole in New York City. She also founded Black Girls Pole because she felt there was not enough representation of women of color in the pole community. As a pole instructor, she wanted to empower more women to start pole dancing and have a platform that would help them change the stigma around what it means to be both a pole dancer and a woman of color. She currently lives in Harlem, New York, with her puppy, Wesley, the Yorkie Poo. So I'm so excited to have Dalijah Franklin on Shine. Dalijah, are you there?
Hi, I am here. How are you?
Hi, I am great. Thank you for shining with me this evening.
Of course. Thank you for having me on the show.
I'm so excited, and she has a podcast also, so I always love when other podcasters come on Shine, because you know what this is all about.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely.
So I found, it's Dalijah, right? I want to make sure I say it right.
Yes,
okay.
Dalijah, yes.
Okay, so I found Dalijah in Black Girls Pole on Instagram, and you have a big presence on there, and you're doing amazing things. And it was interesting. I was listening to another podcast that's not dedicated to pole dancing or fitness, but she was talking about how pole dancing changed her life and how it really empowered her. So when I listened to that and the reasons for that statement, I started looking on Instagram and other outlets to see who was doing it and what it was doing for women. That's why I decided to do this show. And as I stated in your bio, you want to create a different narrative and change the stigma with pole dancing. So I just wanted to ask you, so with pole dancing and reading your bio and looking at you on Instagram, how did you discover pole dance, and when did you decide that this is the industry you wanted to venture into?
So it's actually funny. I after college, I moved to New York City to pursue dance, and I wanted to be a dancer, and I was in a dance company, and had an agent, and was going on auditions, and very in the commercial dance world. And then a friend of mine that was a dancer with me, she was like, well, we used to work out together at Crunch Gym in New York City, and she said, oh, they have pole dancing classes at Crunch, we should try to take a pole dancing class. And I was a little hesitant at first because I was like, I don't know if I want to do pole dancing. That's not the type of dancing that I want to do, but she kind of convinced me to do it, and I took a class at Crunch Gym in 2000, and I want to say 2008, and it was literally like the best thing that had ever happened to me. I fell in love. It was love at first spin, I always say. And so I took a class, and after that I just started taking classes once a week, and then it kind of turned into 2 times a week, and then 3 times a week, and then before I knew it, I was going like every day almost, taking pole dancing classes, because there's several locations. There's several Crunch locations in New York, so I would go to like the one in Brooklyn on Mondays, and then I would go to the one in Fort Greene on Tuesdays, and then I would go to the one on the Upper East Side on Wednesdays. So it was I was very hooked, like very quickly. And the funny thing is that probably about 2 months in, my friend that had taken me to the class, she had already quit. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Typically, that's how it works. The person that introduced you to whatever ends up stopping, and then the person that was introduced, they tend to just go full steam ahead. So what was the intrigue?
Yeah.
Like, as a dancer, what did you get from pole dancing, and why were you hooked at first bend?
You know what? It was mostly the freedom to be able to feel sensual, and also build strength with it. So there was a part of me that I could create the kind of choreography that I wanted to with pole dancing, and not have to be standing behind an artist or getting choreography from another instructor or from another choreographer. It was just a lot of freedom in that. And then with all of that freedom came the confidence to feel good about my body, feel good about myself. And I used to always say, on my worst day, I would still feel sexy and I would still feel confident, because I knew what my body was capable of doing with pole dancing. So I think it was a combination of all of those things, wrapped in one that made pole dancing so amazing for me.
Wow. Now, that's incredible because I know as a trained dancer, so do you think if you weren't a trained dancer, do you think that you would love it the same? And the reason why I ask, because a lot of people think, well, you have to have a dance background or you have to be coordinated in some fashion or you may want to make money doing it. I mean, there's a lot of different myths out there. So, I feel you with the sexuality part. Is that something that you struggled with beforehand, and you found freedom at the pole or in the dance class?
I think it was always in me. I think that sensual part was always in me, but with pole dancing, I was able to feel confident with it just coming out. And I always say this. Whenever people are like, oh my God, I want to try pole dancing, but I'm not strong. I always tell people, it's like, you don't go to the hair salon with your hair already done. You don't go to the gym already in shape. You go to get better at the things, or you go to improve on it. So with pole dancing, any and everyone can do it because you grow, physically, mentally, emotionally, as you do it. So it's definitely a journey. And it's not something that you already have to have in you to start it. You just have to have the passion to do it, I always say.
Wow. And it's interesting. I guess I took it maybe about 6 years ago, and I've only done it one time. It was very difficult, and I always say that I want to do it again, and then the studio closed. So for some reason I just said, oh, okay. And then now recently I'm thinking about it again. I know it was just one class. That's all I have taken. And I saw the strength that it could build. I saw how you can feel sensual and so I only can imagine if I continue taking the class, how I would feel about my body and my sexuality, because I think a lot of women, especially Black women, have difficulties with their sexuality and bringing out that sex kitten, if you will, because of upbringing or a religious background, or worried about what other people are going to say, that it's difficult to open up and be free. Why do you think that is, outside of the reasons I stated?
I believe that we're in such a don't world. It's like, don't do this, don't act to this, don't say the wrong thing, don't wear the wrong thing, because people might think of you in a certain way.
Yeah.
And I grew up a church girl. I was in church every Sunday. But with this, I feel like there's so much freedom in understanding what your body can do and appreciating what your body can do and choosing how you choose to do pole dancing. I love putting on heels. I love sometimes being sporty with it. I love being just dancey with it, and I love putting on Nicki Minaj and dancing the way that I want to dance with it as well. So there's so many avenues with it, and the only thing that's taboo about it is not feeling confident in loving your body. So, it's like 2019, and I feel like if there's ever a time to totally be in love with your body, the time is now,
Right, and I love that. If you could just speak up just a little bit, because I want to make sure everyone hears you. But I definitely agree with you. We are in a don't society, or people are looking at you this way, or you have to be politically correct, you can't do this. And I like the way you put that. It is a don't society, because everyone's, oh, don't do that. Somebody might think this or that. But then how would you ever be comfortable in your own skin if you listen to other people telling you what you shouldn't or should not do, or what you should conform to or look like? So I definitely agree with you on that. You saying that you were a church girl, you went to church every Sunday. Have you had any pushback when you decided to make this your profession?
Absolutely, yes. Yes and no. My parents when I told them that I was going to pole dance, they kind of were like, we just paid all of this money for you to go to college, for you to do this. You know, so that was a struggle. But my parents are pretty open to things, because I was the kid that was like, I don't want to go to college. I just want to move to New York City and just figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, so they've always known that I've had a free spirit. But when I did tell them I was pole dancing, I finally sent them a video of the first competition that I did, and thank goodness I won first place.
Oh, wow.
And sent them,
wait a minute, let's pause for a minute. Your very first competition, you won first place.
Well, second competition.
Oh,
the first
second
competition was kind of I got third place at the first competition.
That's so excellent.
It was a very local competition, and then the following year, I want to say, I went on to do a competition called Pole Sport Organization, and it's a huge worldwide competition, and I entered in my level, and I got third place, and when I sent the videos, I got first place, sorry. When I sent the video to my parents, they finally were like, well, you know, it's no different than you doing gymnastics. You actually have on more clothes than the gymnasts do.
True.
So that was interesting. And my mom was like, I can actually see all of the gymnastics, all of the dance that you incorporate through your movement.
Wow.
So, you know, they were totally supportive of it. And as I've gotten, you know, better at it, and as I've gotten to travel all over the world teaching pole dancing, they've really come to respect what the sport is and understand, you know, this is what I love to do, and this is my life, and they completely respect it. And my mom actually tried it once or twice.
Wow.
She was like, this shit is really hard.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. So, you know, I think now that my parents totally have an understanding of what it is, and they love it. They love that I do it, and they love how confident I've become because of it. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, kudos to your parents for really standing behind you, because had they not, or someone like you tried to decide to do this, and this is what they wanted to do, and if they got pushed back from their parents at any age, they might not have pursued what genuinely made them happy. So kudos to your parents for supporting you in that. Because as a parent, we're supposed to support our children in all they decide to do, not dictate what they should do, but go alongside with what they want to do with their own lives. Would you agree or disagree?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I have a lot of students still who don't tell their parents that they pole dance.
Wow.
And they don't tell their jobs that they pole dance because, you know, they're afraid that their job might fire them. I've actually had a few students who have gotten fired from their jobs as teachers and, you know, just as people in the work field, and gotten fired because of their quote secret life of pole dancing. And it's really unfortunate because it's such an empowering sport, and it's such a confidence builder that it's like, why would you know, there's the stigma around it. As far as it's gone, there's so much stigma that's still around what pole dancing is. And I don't know, I think people think that, you know, we're in this dark back room giving lap dances to people, but truth be told, it's just like, no, I'm really here to work on myself and get stronger and have fun while doing it.
So it's so interesting that you said that, because that is the stigma. The stigma is that you're practicing pole dancing so you can go to the strip club at night, and so you can make money and strip and take your clothes off and slide down the pole. And I think it's become dirty because of movies and strip clubs and what people think in their minds, and not the actuality of it all. Just finding your groove, discovering your sexuality, and really empowerment. And it's so unfortunate that people are associating it with sex because of what they see. So what is something that you would like to change as far as this industry and what you do?
Well, I mean, you can't really change, well, no, I guess you can change the stigma of it, but exotic dancers and girls that work in the strip clubs, they're very, very talented, and I have the utmost respect for any stripper, any exotic dancer, because they are the ones that put pole dancing on the map, so I would never, ever take that away. It's just choosing to...
And they're talented, too. When you see some of the things that they can do, it's like, and just taking that one class, I'm like, kudos to them, because, like, I'm with your mom. That's hard.
Yeah. So, there is so much respect just in the entire whole game. And even, today I was coming home, and I live in New York City, and I was riding the train home, and even the guys that do the dancing on the trains, when they're like, what time is it, showtime, it's still such a respect for them, because I'm watching these guys do all of these very, very difficult moves, and I don't think that people understand what goes into the strength behind pole dancing, whether you're in the strip club or whether you're in a studio doing it for fitness or whether you're on the train doing it, for a living to make money. So just pole dancing in general across the board is just such a difficult sport to get into. But, and I have so much respect for everyone that does it. But I think that having the conversations of it doesn't have to look a certain type of way. There's so many different avenues that you can go down with pole dancing, whether it be exotic dancer, whether it be doing competitions, whether it be opening up a studio. There's so many different avenues that you can go down, so that it doesn't have to always be in the mindset of, it's dirty, or it's
to make it sexual, to make it, it's sensual, and there is a sexual element to it, but it's not about sex.
Right. And truth be told, I've had a boyfriend for 5 years, and he's never gotten a lap dance. So, and it's mostly because I do this for me. I don't really do it for someone else,
And that's what I want to talk to you about. As I stated, I heard all the empowering aspects of it. So pole dancing can foster emotional healing and self-empowerment. I've heard that quite often. And you talked about a little bit of that earlier, in making you feel comfortable in your skin and your body. But what are some of the things it can do for the emotional side of it, and that self-empowerment and self-esteem? What are some of the aspects of pole dancing that can contribute to a healthy self-esteem?
So I would say that I feel so confident when my body is where it is, because it's able to perform the way that it can. I think that just women in general, we are always taught, like, oh, you're too this, you're too fat, you're too skinny, your hips are too big, your belly sticks out just a little too much, your hair looks this, So women, I think in general, we always are like, oh, I look like this. Oh, we're so quick to, like, tear ourselves down.
Absolutely.
But I when I teach my beginner and students, it's always like, you took the time, you took an hour to figure out the things that you love about yourself. So I think it's just peeling away the layers of saying, oh, I look like this, oh, I'm this, and really peeling away the layers and being like, actually, my butt looks really good when I do this,
Right.
It starts with the little things. It starts with the little affirmations of what it might be one piece of your body that you find attractive that day, and then it starts to turn into two things, and then before you know it, you're just like, wow, I look really good, and I love what my body can do for me, and I feel so confident that nobody can tell me anything. No matter what, like, I know what I'm capable of, and through pole dancing, and I feel so empowered, and I feel like my body is just doing things that I never thought it could do.
See, I love that, and I love that aspect of it, and I love. See, I'm all for empowering women. Everything that I do, I mean, I empower men as well. But I have a saying called it's never too late to remix your life. And I truly believe that. And so many people think, well, if I'm at this age in this stage of the game, then I don't have any business being on a pole, or that's not something that I'm interested in because I just, I feel it's dirty. I mean, you hear a lot of different things when it comes to pole dancing. And I remember even when I took the class and I was telling someone, I said, oh yeah, I took this pole dancing class. And they were like, oh, what are you trying to do? I was like, I was trying to try, they thought, I guess it was an audition or something. And I was like, I wanted to try it. It was a chair class. We did that first. And then it was a group of us that I worked with. So we did the chair dancing exercise, and then whoever wanted to do the pole dancing, they could. So it was myself and another lady decided to do that. And at that point, I figured that out. I was like, oh, wow. I don't have upper body strength like maybe I thought, because it was very, I was like, okay, so let me just dance around it in a nice way. And that's what I did. But I can see how it will give you confidence in your body and showing how it moves and just really getting back to womanhood and sexuality and feeling good about yourself. And sometimes it's not, well, most of the time I'll say it's not about a guy. It's not about sex. It's not about a man. Right. But you know how some people think that they hold everything into what a guy thinks or what my man or husband or boyfriend thinks about my body instead of focusing on, hey, what do I think about my body?
Yeah. And I mean, what's funny is that I think with my boyfriend, he sees the other side of it. So he sees when I'm like, oh, my shoulder hurts. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm sweaty. Oh, I don't feel like teaching, so there's the other side of it that comes along with that part. But absolutely, it's definitely about you feeling confident in who you are and not doing this for anybody else but yourself. And just taking a moment to step outside of the box and, just trying something new, because you never know.
Right.
You never know. Like, you might absolutely fall in love with it.
Right.
Yeah, and it's kind of why I started Black Girls Pole, just to get more women of color to think outside of the box and give pole dancing a try. And the other reason I started it was mostly because as I was competing and when I was starting to teach and things more and more and travel more, I started to notice that there weren't a lot of women of color that looked like me. And I was like, well, here I am. I'm 5'1". I have these thighs. I have boobs. I have like a C cup. And it's hard to put myself in someone else's shoes because all I'm seeing is mostly white women that are doing it. So I wanted to say, like, where are the black girls? I know they're out there. I know that they can do this, and I just kind of started Black Girls Pole as to make sure that representation was the thing.
And when you started that, which I think is a great organization, Black Girls Pole, a lot of people think, okay, black girls don't pole. So I just love the name. It's in your face. It's blunt. It's plain. Yes, we do this. So when you started this, did you find that more black girls were attracted to pole dancing because you made this bold statement and you decided to start this organization?
So I actually started it as a one-time event. Mm-hmm. I went to the owners of Body and Pole, where I teach in New York City, and I said, I want to have an event, and I want to do like a celebration of black women that pole dance because I don't see it that much. And they were like, absolutely, go ahead, do it. So when I went to go do it, I started the Instagram page for it, and I had maybe like 5 pole dancers that I knew that were competing and that were in the space that I knew. So the show, it sold out. I had a show, and then I also had classes for people. So it was a one-day event. People could come and take class, and then after the classes were only open to people that wanted to pole dance, but then the class was open to the general public. Mm-hmm. So I invited people. The show sold out, and I was like, great, this is awesome. It was like a one-day event. I never wanted to turn it into more than that.
Wow.
And people were kind of like, oh, well, when's the next event? And I was like, well, there is no next event. This is it. And they were like, no, you have to do another event. This is amazing. You know, you pulled in pole dancers from all over the country. I had people from California and from Texas and from New York that came and they performed and they taught.
Wow.
And I was kind of like, well, I don't know. This is just like a one-off kind of thing. And it got a little bit of press. And then I went away because I had to go teach overseas. And when I came back, I was like, well, maybe I'll do it in Atlanta. So I did it in Atlanta. The same thing happened. It sold out. The show sold out. The classes sold out. And then I was like, wow, this can really be a thing. And I always tell people, I remember the day that I hit 100 followers on Instagram, and I was so excited. Like, oh my God, there's 100 people that follow Black Girls Pole.
I love
amazing. And great. And after that, I kind of said to myself, this could be so much more than that. So I kept having events, and then I kind of turned it into a retreat. So I had my first retreat for Black Girls Pole in 2014 in Miami. And sure enough, people showed up, and it was so amazing. And since then, since the Miami retreat, we've had retreats in Miami, Bermuda, London.
Wow.
Yeah, all over the place. I actually just got back from London yesterday.
I saw that. Wow.
Yeah.
I saw that on your Instagram.
And, yeah, it's just been really cool that the best thing about it is that it's bringing women of color together that aren't afraid to travel and that love to pole dance. So, you know, you have two things going for you, and it's like, why not? I want to travel and see a new place, and then I want to pole dance, and I know that I'm going to be with like-minded people that pole dance as well, and we're just going to have a good time.
See, I love that. I love the retreat idea. I love that you listen to the people. There was a desire to have this, and from city to city, people wanted more. And that's how a lot of businesses and foundations and organizations are created. And it's what the people want. So you said you had 100 followers. How many do you have now?
About 48,000.
Wow. Wow. Incredible.
Yeah.
So as a life coach, I'm always encouraging people to try something different, get out of the box, get unstuck, renew yourself, get to know who you are at this age and stage, change the narrative over your life, create something new, create the life that you want. So I'm always telling clients to do that because a lot of people are scared to change. And that's why I said it's never too late to remix your life, because so many people, like you said, it's this don't society, don't do this, or you can't do this. If you look like this, if you're shaped like this, if your body's like this, you can't do that. So I love that you're trying to rid people of these barriers and say, hey, just try it, just do it. I love that. So I wanted to talk about some of the barriers people have, i.e. some myths. So I heard that men don't pole dance, but I saw that is that true or false? I'll let you answer.
Totally false. Men definitely pole dance. I've had a male instructor at one of my retreats, and actually men, they're stronger. So, they they can do the what's it called when they do the flagpole, and they can do all of those things. Absolutely, men do pole dance.
And we're talking about straight men, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Okay, so another myth. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, yeah.
No, go ahead.
I mean, it's the same as I always take it back to the guys that do it on the trains here in New York. They're so strong, and some of them have actually
like the Waffle Boys. What are they? The Waffle Boys. Have you heard of them? They
call them the hitters.
Okay, because there's another group called the Waffle Boys, and they do that as well in New York on the trains.
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
There's so many right now. But yeah, it's definitely not taboo to be a male and to pole dance, and they have competitions just as much as the women have competitions as well. Yeah.
See, I love that. Okay, so the next myth. Wow, this time is going so fast. You have to have great upper strength to pole dance?
No. Again, I say it's like, do you go to the beauty salon with your hair already done?
Right.
No.
I love
Do you
that.
go to the gym already strong and already in shape? No. It's a journey. You know, it's a journey of building the strength, and that's the beauty in it, is that you get to physically see your body transform as you do it.
Right. Okay. So I have to be in a 2-piece bikini if I want to pole dance.
No. For most beginners, you would probably wear leggings and a tank top with a sports bra. Just make sure you don't wear lotion on your hands.
For obvious reasons.
No, you can wear whatever you want to wear. I mean, I wouldn't say come in like jeans,
right?
You know, but come in workout clothes that you feel comfortable in until you feel comfortable enough. There's times that I wear really small bottoms, and there's times that I wear sweatpants when I pole dance. It just totally depends on, you know, how you're feeling in that day. You do the more advanced you get, you do need skin to stick to the pole, so you don't want to wear lotion. You don't want to wear a lot of clothing if you're going to be, like, going up the pole, or if you're going to be, you know, hanging by your legs or stuff like that. But for a beginner, you can totally wear leggings, tank top, and just come barefoot.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, this is for young people. I'm over 40. I can't pole dance.
I had a woman that has been to, I want to say, 3 or 4 retreats that we've done, and she just turned 60.
Woohoo! I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it.
She started when she was 55.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, she's absolutely amazing. She is absolutely getting up the pole, doing all of the things that everybody else does. She's in better shape than some of the 30-year-olds that do it.
Oh, I believe it.
And, yeah, she's living her best life. And I've actually had a couple, I want to say like a year or two ago, that came to take class. It was a couple from Italy. The husband was 68 and the wife was 66.
Yeah, I love it. I love to see when people defy the odds and they don't listen to what they should do at this age or this weight or this height. They do what they feel. And at that age, I think you're doing what you feel and you don't care what anyone else says.
Absolutely. I mean, you to be honest, with anything, it's not even with just pole dancing, but life in general.
That's right. One life. That's right.
You know, and life is way too short to put yourself in a box and say, oh, I'm not going to do this.
Absolutely.
You have the entire world at your fingertips.
That's right.
It's nothing to just try something new, because it might change your life. And it's not too late to change your life, even at 65 years old.
Absolutely.
It's never too late to change your life. So, yeah.
I absolutely agree. Okay, the last myth. Do I have to be a dancer to do it? And we talked about that a little earlier on the podcast.
No.
Okay.
I have had teachers. I've had people that work in the FBI. I've had anything that you can think of come in and started with one class, and now they've become part-time instructor.
Wow.
You know, one of the instructors at the studio that I work in, he is a graphic designer and, like, sits all day. You know, you don't have to have any kind of background. That's the beauty of pole dancing, is that it's for any and everyone.
Okay, so let's talk about it. How should someone try it for the first time? Is there a ramp-up pole? Is there a beginner's pole? Like, how does someone start for the very first time? What should they do?
Yeah, so I would say you can always Google to see if there is a studio that's near you. Mm-hmm. And every studio should have an intro class or a beginner, like very, very beginner. Some studios call it intro to pole. Some studios call it pole version. Some studios call it beginner's class, but you should just try a beginner's class. And then it's with anything that you've tried, don't give up on the first time that you do it, because it's going to be hard. The first time that you rode a bike, it was difficult, you know, and also just allow yourself the space to mess up. allow yourself the space to not feel comfortable.
And that's in life anyway. That's in life. I
Right.
prescribe that in life all the time. So you're saying pole dancing is just like life, really. Don't get discouraged. Try it. If you're not good at it, try it some more.
Yes.
Keep going at it if that's something that you want to do, right?
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I would definitely say just keep trying, and don't give up, because it's definitely worth it on the other side of it. And it's a journey.
Wonderful. Wow, this time goes so fast. We have about 4 minutes. But quickly, can you tell me, it just went so fast. So this is exciting. I definitely have to have you back at a later date to continue this conversation.
Sure, yes.
I would love that. So where do you see the art of pole dancing going, and why is it beginning to be more acceptable in society in some areas?
I definitely see it just growing. It's awesome that it's continuing to grow. And that, every day it grows when a person that's never done it before walks into a studio. So if that keeps happening, pole dancing will continue to grow. Where do I see it going? I think I see it growing more so in mainstream. So it not being the secret thing that, like, you don't tell your friends about. You know, I see it as becoming just like I'm going to a kickboxing class, I'm going to my pole dancing class.
Yeah.
And not only that, like, there's so many, I'm starting to see kids that are doing it as well, and kids that are, taking it more as a gymnastics approach to it. And I've seen girls on America's Got Talent that are like 12 years old that are doing it. So it's really starting to take the quote dirty out of it and just make it more of a mainstream workout.
Yeah.
And if people can start to just be open-minded about it, then, it will continue to grow into more. I
love that. It's so funny. I still have the key tag to the class that I went to a few years ago. And when it's on just my key with all my other key tags, and I remember someone saw that and then they looked at me, and I just giggled because, again, people do have a certain stereotype when it comes to pole classes. They think that that's your starter kit to be the stripper later that week or later that month. So, but I thank you. I thank you for changing and trying to take away that stigma and helping women of color especially, be empowered by pole dancing. Just in about 30 seconds, what advice would you give someone to make them feel good about themselves before they even hit the pole?
Just know that your body can do anything that you give it the space to, and you never know when someone is waiting for you to step into your greatness so that you can inspire other people to be great as well. It's like life is too short to put yourself in a box of don'ts. Just stand on top of the box and shout that you can do anything that you set your mind to. And you never know who's waiting for you on the other side of your greatness.
Well, I don't need to say any more. That was wonderful. And thank you for delivering that message to this audience. Quickly tell the people how they can get in contact with Black Girls Pole.
Sure. You can follow Black Girls Pole on Instagram, on Facebook. It's Black Girls Pole, BLACKGIRLS, plural. Pole, POLE. It's on Instagram. It's on Facebook. The website is blackgirlspole.com, and then you can find me on social media as well. My Instagram is Dalijah Amelia, DALIJAH, A as in Apple, M as in Michael, ELIA, and that's my email as well. That's my all of the things. So yeah, it's either Dalijah or Black Girls Pole. And don't be afraid to shoot us an email. If you have any questions, we always answer the questions, and we're just always there to encourage people to be great.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you everyone for listening to Shine with Kendéll Lenice. Remember, you are a star, so don't allow anyone to dim your shine. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and share. God bless. Thank you, Dalijah. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Shine with Kendéll Lenice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together.